Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Touhou and History with Mu and Dr. Nyri Bakkalian. Today we are going to be taking a look at Legacy of Lunatic Kingdom. Nyri, if you would like to introduce yourself.
It is a pleasure to be here yet again. I'm Dr. Nyri Bakkalian. My doctorate is in Japanese history. I am here to help elevate your appreciation of the real history and culture that inform the video games that you consume, in this case, in the context of the Touhou franchise. It is a pleasure to be working with you again, Mo.
Thank you very much. Yes, this game is going to be a bit of an odd one. I've said this about several of them, but this one has a non-standard game mode, of which I will show off to some degree, but primarily we will be playing on what's called Legacy mode. And the storyline of the game somewhat informs the structure of this one. So I'll fire it up, and in game this time we actually have a prelude that explains the storyline. So thankfully it's actually in the in-game manual this time. One real quick. Okay. Let's fire this up and see how things are. Game volume might be loud. Okay.
No.
I'm still a bit quiet. Understood. Yes?
I just want to make sure that there isn't any trouble on my end. Give me a moment. I just want to. I'm trying something here, and I want to make sure that it's not messing anything up.
Yep.
Okay. Can you from my end hear anything that sounds like music?
We hear nothing coming from your end that isn't your voice.
Okay, that is exactly how it should be then. All right, excellent. Let's get going.
Understood. So, as I mentioned, this is going to be a little bit of an odd one, and I'm excited to give a couple of reasons on why that is, along with doing something a little bit silly to kick us off here. As I mentioned, the manual actually has the prelude to the story this time. When urban legends were manifesting in Gensokyo, a rumor started to spread that Apollo never went to the moon. At the same time, a metallic spider appeared around the mountain. The spider appeared to be slowly wandering around. So what's this weird machine you mentioned? Reimu says. Sanae says, it happened when the morning mist was still covering the mountain. It had a form with no imperfections, unbecoming of any other beast or monster. Mist faded away and the trees withered in the places where the spider passed by. Reimu, so a machine that looked like a spider? Sanae, I only caught a glimpse of it, but it definitely wasn't just some yokai I mistook. Reimu, maybe it's one of the Kappa's tools. Once the machine passed by, there were no signs of life. Tengu flew in the sky overhead, but for some reason they paid no attention to the spider. As the foothills came into the spider's view, it slowly clambered down the cliffside. Sanae, this is definitely interesting. I can't imagine that this appearance is just a coincidence. Sanae began to grow restless. Reimu, what is it? It's kind of irritating. Sanae, that thing looks just like curiosity. Marissa and Raisen, how do you think, if you can help me with pronunciation here?
Marisa, Aente?
Aente, okay. We're going to be introduced to some characters that are new from our perspective here. And so we'll just kind of have to roll with it. These characters were important in the plot line of... What is the name of it? Shoot. It's not Perfect Cherry Blossom, it's not Immaterial Power, it's... Hang on, I actually need to look this up. Embarrassing. Imperishable Night. First appeared in Imperishable Night. And so, that game has a fair bit to do with the Tale of the Bamboo Cutter and Princess Kaguya and various lunar concepts.
Ah, one of the oldest written works of Japanese literature.
Yes. And in fact, Kaguya, seems the time has come for them to arrive. Aaron, a lunar doctor. What should we do? Kaguya. That's obvious, isn't it? I've already prepared myself. A natural and satisfying answer. Aaron, if they're making a move, no humans will possibly be able to compete with them, but if we stand against them, we'll be playing right into their hands. Moreover, the yokai of Earth likely can't even interfere to begin with. Kaguya. So what do we do? Aaron, I've made some medicine for just this occasion. Get Rei-sen to deliver this to the Shrine Maiden and her friends. Marissa's housed in the Forest of Magic. 7 occult balls had suddenly appeared. Marissa had been investigating just what one of these balls had been, the ball of the lunar capital, to be precise. Marissa, looks like this thing was somehow the cause of that whole urban legend uproar, but as she sat bewildered, the moon rabbit Rei-sen appeared there. The metallic spider's march of purification cannot be stopped. The trees wither before one's eyes. Not one blade of grass was left in the spider's tracks. When Gensokyo is completely purified, it will be transformed into a perfect world. Into a beautiful planet with no life on it. 2 game modes, Point Device Mode and Legacy Mode. To counter the emissaries from the moon, this mode forces you to perform a no-miss clear. Progress will automatically be saved so you can always continue where you left off. Legacy Mode. The same mode as always. Try to counter the moon emissaries without Aaron's drug. This time around, the degree of difficulty is intended for experts. Bear with me here.
So they made the Dragon Balls on the moon, and now we're starting with the Dragon Balls, is that it?
After taking the medicine, this game mode forces perfection. But what if we didn't take this medicine that forces us to do absolute perfection and rewinds time every time we fail? What if we just fought normally? It's going to be a hard journey, much harder than it should be, but maybe we can make it. Rank select. New Moon, Easy Mode. Well, this difficulty should be easy to chew. Crescent Moon, Normal Mode, nice amount of firmness. Half Moon, Hard Mode, so firm that your jaw will get tired. Full Moon, Lunatic Mode, please do not eat. So, 4 characters. And as mentioned, we can play either point device or non-point device mode. As always, Reimu Hakurei, Mysterious Flying Shrine Maiden. The soldiers from the Pure Land finally made an entrance. Their flawlessness rejected the life and death of living creatures. Homing Amulet, Persuasion Needle, and Fantasy Seal. Pretty basic loadout for Reimu. An ordinary magician, Marissa Kurasame. The Lunar Capital's Power Stone appeared before anyone knew it. It held a power that could throw Gensokyo's society into chaos. Lasers, Magic Missile, and the ever-famous Master Spark. Miraculous Living God residing on the mountain, Sanae Kochiya. A metallic spider appeared over the Yokai Mountain. To her, it looked like the Mars rover Curiosity.
A metallic spider that has to do with the moon, you say?
And according to Sanae, it looks like the Curiosity rover, so... And the 4th stage boss of... Wow, I almost forgot. Imperishable Night? I think that was the name of it. Reisen Udangain Inaba. Anything to spot in that name in particular?
Well, Inaba, the hair of Inaba, the hair that's in the that's supposedly in the moon, pounding mochi.
So, would you like to elaborate on that? A rabbit pounding mochi?
Yeah, so the rabbit pounding mochi is this fixture of Japanese folklore. It's been a while since I actually read the damn thing, but I think it appears in the Kojiki. They Yeah, there's a whole range actually of beings from the moon. There's the capital of the moon, as you mentioned earlier. There's in the tale of Princess Kaguya, the Emperor of the Moon. But there are yokai throughout Japan who, depending on where you are, if you dig into their story, it turns out, oh, this is supposedly like an alien from the moon that got stuck in Japan. Udongein. Okay, so that's a type of plant, rabbit ear type stems. Okay, good choice. Good choice. That was a new one for me. But yeah, the hair of Inaba is a being in Japanese folklore very well known. So where we in the West would say man in the moon, in Japan it's the rabbit of the moon.
And from my understanding, it's to some degree a interpretation of the shapes of the craters, in that it looks like a rabbit that's pounding mochi.
Something like that. And yes, Conley is right. Kaguya is a princess from the Taketori Monogatari, the Tale of the Bamboo Cutter.
And in fact, she is Reisen's master, in that in both Eren and Kaguya's orders, we are going to investigate. We will be playing as Reisen because her bomb is extremely unique, extremely powerful, and just might be what saves us. Her bomb clears extremely small amounts of bullets, provides essentially no invulnerability time, increases your hitbox, but allows you to take 4 hits and never wears off. It essentially gives you 4 mini lives. And so, Kaguya is a fugitive who fled from the moon, and I believe that Reisen is also a deserter. But we will get to that a bit more as we get in. Game music seems kind of low. 1 sec. It's tradition at this point. You saw nothing? Hee hee, funny bit. As always, we can go to the top of the screen. Space Probe of the Pure Land, Eagle Rabbit.
Yeah, Kaguya is the name of the princess in the Tale of the Bamboo Cutter. And that is a link for you to learn more about the legend of the hair of Inaba.
Speaking of rabbits and pounding mochi, we'll get a better look at her in a moment, but
with a mochi pounding mallet, even.
Let me use my bomb here. As you can see, it clears bullets a little bit, but the red symbol over us indicates that our hitbox is bigger, and the 4 orbiting orbs indicate that we have 4 hits that we can survive. Continue.
You can, in fact, pound mochi in a bread machine. This is what I did this year for New Year's. but traditionally with a enormous mallet and pestle. Or mortar, rather. Wooden mortar. Usu.
Gain over 1 million points in a phase of a level will get you a life piece. If you're in this mode. But since lives are irrelevant in point device mode, it will get you a bomb fragment. Because once again, you will restart constantly until you do it right. So the time has finally come. Oh my. It's been a while. Have you been doing well? The pale blue eagle Ravi. They run. Aside from you attacking me pretty flashily, yeah. Well, that's for work. You know how it is, right? So just behave yourself and get beaten here, okay? That was me spending one of the 4 damage of my bombs.
Sign eagle shooting. It's interesting to me. They are working in the names of lunar landers from the Apollo program.
There was also the preview, or like the lead-up story, saying that there's something about the Apollo landing being faked, or rumors about it.
Well, and the lunar lander from one of the Apollo missions was in fact named Spider.
Oh.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that was the gun sign Lunatic gun. Yes, it was Spider, and the command module was named Gumdrop. Because it was gumdrop shaped.
The lunar rabbits have bullets, or frequently are depicted as having bullet-shaped, well, bullets. And sort of in Raisin's first appearance, she had her hand in like a finger guns pose, and so she's often depicted as shooting using that, and then sometimes she's depicted as actually having a gun. And so in this game she has a gun, actually, that's shaped kind of like a megaphone, whereas in the previous one she was in fact shooting bullets just with finger. Also, those bullets look like bullets and nothing else. Do not overdrive. Overdrive. Anyway. Huh? Why did you beat me? Sorry, but I've become an Earth Rabbit. Basically, you're my enemy. No, not you. The ones above you. Mayday! Mayday! This is a state of emergency! That's right. Spread the word to everyone with telepathy. To all those selfish moon rabbits. Anyways, to not be so coy here. Yokai Mountain Lake, forward base on the lake, Lunatic front line. The joke probably popularized the most by Iosis's Flash animations, music videos, is her bullets kind of look like suppositories. They're much more distinctly bullet-looking in this version as we play her, though. But the enemies, the lunar rabbit enemies, still have bullets that look the old way. Hee hee, funny. Right, I should bomb. Free armor. Oh yes, as we graze bullets, you'll notice that the point and power-up items are falling slower.
It's Princess Kaguya all the way down. Yes, all the way down to the glowing bamboo. Also, the hair of Inaba appears in a number of games including in Shin Megami Tensei, as I know Zoe has seen. The entire stream is still a bit quiet, apparently.
I could boost it on my end, but that should raise everything on my end. My computer has a very strange sort of audio setup, and so sometimes things will just utterly blast into my headphones. And so, as a result, much of my stuff is on the quieter end. You might have to max your computer volume, but the ratio should be alright. Sorry about that. Either way, I poked it up a little bit. Thank you. It also could just be that I have audio sensitivity. The wind up here brings back memories. The wind up here. So is it true that you betrayed us? Fighting your fellow moon rabbits? Honestly. Ringo, the orange evil Ravi. Well, I suppose. I'm acting under orders too, though. You have a tough too, huh? Even on the Earth, it's work, work, work. And us rabbits' working conditions haven't improved at all, either. Anyway, my mission requires me to infiltrate the capital. So would you mind letting me use the passage? You'll notice her eyes are kind of glowing with a spiral effect there. And that relates to her ability, is that she can induce madness with her eyes. Rei-san.
Shin Megami Tensei, the series everybody forgot about because Persona took over the brand.
Do you think I'm just going to say, yeah, go right ahead? Eliminate traitors is written on our work regulations, too. I have very slightly learned how to play this on piano. I like this song. Spell card?
Rabbit sign, strawberry dungle.
Bullets do look kind of dongo-like.
Dango, which in the US is often referred to as mochi, even though mochi is not dango, mochi is part of a dango. Rabbit sign, dango influence.
This attack's cool. When I'm not destroying it by billion bullets, anyway.
The dan of dango and the dan of danmaku are different. For those of you who know Japanese. Dango dai kazoku. Dango, 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 dai kazoku. Moon viewing, September full moon. God, that's been a hot minute.
Likewise, and I don't even know what that show is. I've only heard that ending, or that op, or whatever it is. Earth's environment is harsh, but there's never a dull moment, so it's pretty fun. No, your home capital is what you make it, right? Yeah, I want to live on Earth too, and just forget about work and everything else. Now then, it's been a while, but it's time for me to infiltrate the lunar capital. Ah, right, let me give you one warning. Right now, the lunar capital has started going crazy thanks to a single lunatic. Understand that there's nothing left of the Pure Land of old. Ho ho! More deserters.
I mean, the term lunatic on the moon... Right, Pure Land.
Secret Passageway, Apollo Meridian, Dreamful Path.
I thought we were doing this in this episode. Once again, it's the Secretism episode, folks.
Do-do-do-do-do-do. I do like how the lasers kind of line up with the background visuals. They sort of kind of follow the same plane. Pseudo 3D effect.
I'm looking at the background here, and I'm thinking of the Dream Science Scarlet Nightmare. That background back there made me think of Spaceballs. They've gone to plaid! There we go.
Danger. Wonky space. So yes, despite all the hits I've taken, I have not lost a life yet. That is how stupidly powerful Ray Sen's Bong is. Unconditional 4 lives per bomb. Ooh. Spicy. This is Cayenne Passageway number 4, I believe? It's been a while, so I started to forget. Any idea what that might mean?
Ion?
Yeah.
You know, knowing Touhou, I have a guess about what it means.
Mm-hmm.
It depends on how it's spelled. But if it's spelled the way I think it's spelled, Kai is sea, and Un is tranquility.
Sea of Tranquility?
Sea of Tranquility, where Apollo 11 landed.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah, that tracks with Touhou Project. Sorry, just adjusting things slightly. That's far enough. Ruler of Dreams, Doremi Sweet. I've been told not to let you through here. I have no grudge against you, but I have a job to do too. A Baku? This is ridiculous. What's the most dangerous yokai in a dreamscape doing here in front of me? I'm a little caught up in these events too. This much work is more of a matter of duty. Now be a good girl, have a nice long sleep, and forget about everything.
Oh my god, it's a Baku.
It is a Baku. Anything to say on those?
Well, a Baku, sort of an elephant without tusks that eats dreams is the usual depiction. Has appeared in a number of games. On one of the games that I streamed very early on, Baku was actually one of the central characters, so it's nice to see them again.
F. Zoe Blackheart in the comments also saying Drowsy and Hypno from
Pokemon, yeah.
Pokemon, yeah.
Oh yeah, Tapir. Although in the old days in Japan, they wouldn't have known Tapir, so it was sort of I guess an amalgam.
Also appeared in Yokai Watch. Putting an enemy in a passageway that only rabbits use. It's obvious they're trying to lure me or somebody in. As you know, the passageway between Earth and the lunar capital is the mental world. This is the dream world, and don't think you can stand against me, an eater and creator of dreams. Got no bombs left, so the next hit I take will be an actual life lost.
Dream sign, indigo dream of anxiety.
Ow. Ow. That's one downside of this bomb, is that you essentially have 0 invulnerability frames after taking one of your false hits. You can absolutely just get...
Dream sign, Ochre confusion.
one of those old-fashioned spiral patterns where you just go in a loop. So it's absolutely possible to burn through all 4 of your false lives in 1 second. If you just stand within a laser or something. Dream sign, dream catcher. Very, very scary.
Interesting how it resembles a dreamcatcher. Huh. Moon sign, ultramarine lunatic dream. Virals.
Hmm.
Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann joke here.
Even if there's a nightmare waiting for me ahead, I have no choice but to go on. It's my job, after all. I have to do it. I see. I may just be here for form's sake, but I've done my job, so that's enough. That aside, you're rather unusual for a rabbit. Actually doing your job properly. Perhaps you have a sense of duty? Maybe I'm still a little crazy. Even though this impure world ought to have calmed the moon's madness down. No, this isn't the moon's madness. What I feel from you is... if I had to say, I'd call it earthliness. Like those humans who managed to find their own individuality by embracing the dreams that others prepared for them. In short, you've been tainted by this impure land. Your impure self will see nothing but lunacy in the lunar capital now. Be even more careful than you need to. Now then, I wish you pleasant dreams. We've been corrupted by the Earth. As opposed to the pure land of the moon. Stage 4, the lunar capital. A city free of Sabi, Lunatic Kingdom.
Right.
What's that? What did you say, Nyri?
A city free of Sabi. Sabi is the word for rust.
Or corrosion, maybe. Rust, yeah. Notice I'm taking hits a lot more frequently all of a sudden. Almost like the difficulty on this game shot way, way up really quickly.
Ha!
Hey now, hey now. I'm shooting down none of them. Finally providing some context on Touhou lore in relation to the moon. Might be worth reading out.
The Apollo moon landing was considered a declaration of war to the Lunarians, although they lived in an enclosed space not visible to humans. I did not realize that was actual lore. I was assuming shitposting. Thank you, Conley.
What is this? Why is it so cold? And nobody's here. Ah, Lady Sagume. What's going on here? Goddess who invites slips of the tongue, Sagume Kishin. A rabbit? But the Lunarians should all have been evacuated to the fake lunar capital by now. Fake lunar capital? Does that mean everyone's in the dream world or something? Good guess. The Lunarians have all mistaken the dream world for the real capital. That is the lunar capital's lunatic dream. For you to be so unusually talkative, Lady Sagume. Something really strange must be happening after all. Anything to say about the name?
The way that they spelled Kishin is funny because it means rare god.
From my understanding, she is listed as being a divine spirit. Specifically, so rare god. SSR quality god.
Divine spirit, kami, same thing.
You're the rabbit that fell to Earth, aren't you? The one from Lady Yagokoro's place, Aaron. I never thought the Baku would let you pass through to this place, but perhaps that possibility does exist. I'll now test the power of you who fell to Earth.
Orb sign, disorderly flux curse. Orb sign, impure body detection mines. I see. Whatever Sagume says, the universe conspires to make it not happen.
Yep. Sagume has the unique ability of influencing the world by any statement she makes become falsehood or impossible possibilities.
Orb sign, shotgun coronation of the gods.
Hell of a spell card name. So she's ordinarily careful with her words, but she's been talkative, which is what Raysun noticed.
One-winged white parrot.
You may notice I'm dying a whole lot all of a sudden. I see. That's enough. I understand the reason that Lady Yagokoro dispatched you for this. You might be able to save the lunar capital. What? Save the lunar capital? Right now, an enemy of the lunar capital is trying to invade. Invade? And she's using the power of life, which we Lunarians can't act against. We panicked, put the lunar capital in stasis, and evacuated everyone. But that lunatic's dream can't sustain the Lunarians' mind forever like this. So we thought we would relocate to Gensokyo soon. Relocate? It's just too big a shock. So the moon rabbits that came to Earth... They have no idea, of course. All we told them is that the lunar capital was building a summer home on Earth. I really can't stand the way the lunar authorities always hide things just for the sake of hiding them. But why are you telling me this? I'm telling you because you fulfill the conditions necessary to strike back at our enemy. Our enemy has the power to control the source of life. She's crafty, turning the tables of the Lunarians, us, who reject life and death. But you no longer reject it. Your body and soul both fall on Earth. Because of your impurity, you can travel to where she is. Ooh, that's quite a story. Thank you. Lady Erin and Lady Kaguya knew all this from the beginning, so they sent me and those humans. They really don't mind putting people in danger. Because I told you about the plan, we won't be able to relocate to Gensokyo anymore. So we have nothing left but to rely on you. Do you understand? If that's what you say, Lady Sagume, that's just how it'll be. By hook or by crook. If you get it, then go already. Head for the enemy's base, the Sea of Tranquility. Consider that an imperial order, from the part of me that's a heavenly god. Are you ready for some lunacy? Because this is where the game starts getting very lunatic. Mare Tranquil Pair. Hero of the Star-Spangled Banner.
Star-Spangled Banner.
Star-Spangled Banner. Where have I heard that term before?
I can hear the Julius Puchik entry of the Gladiators playing already. You know, yeah, that.
Yep. Whoa.
Admiral Perry, is that you?
Things are gonna get very real wacky real quick. Haha! Something real interesting's going on. Hair fairies, let's crank up the speed! It's lunatic time! Welcome to a world of madness! Alright. Would you like 5 trillion lasers? Here's 5 trillion lasers. Do they curve? Thankfully, no. Non-curving lasers. We are given some... What was that? What? The lasers overlapping like that I was not ready for. I'm in hell. This game is so stupidly difficult. They weren't kidding when they said that at the very start of... In terms of difficulty, this one's for experts, especially if you use Legacy mode. Look at this garbage. Ooh. $5 trillion stars from 5 million fairies. Oh. A swarm of fairies outside the capital? Are these the invaders Lady Sagume mentioned? Well, it's true that fairies are a symbol of impurity, but I don't think they have the intelligence to invade. And the Lunarians shouldn't fear this level of impurity from mere fairies. Wait, that's not the problem here. What are fairies doing on the moon in the first place? That's the real question. Well, you see... There's a few here who were brought from Earth, but there were originally fairies living on the moon, too. You're the fairies' boss. You do seem a bit different from the other fairies, but I can hardly believe the Lunarians would have their hands full with you. Who do you think I am? I'm a fairy from Hell, Clownpiece. Fairy of Hell, Clownpiece. The Lunarians are enemies of Master's friends. Enemies of Master's friends are enemies of Master's. And any enemy of Master's is an enemy of mine. I'll show no mercy. I'm not really sure I get the whole picture here, but you won't get any mercy from me either. They say that a refined fairy's energy exceeds even that of a Kishin. Taste the impurity of life and death the Lunarians hate so much, and let your first death send you falling into hell. This boss sucks. This boss sucks so bad. Survival pattern. Yeah. 5 trillion lasers. Hell sign, flash and stripe. I'm dead. What am I supposed to do here? Okay, side dodge.
I know that band. Hellfire, Graze, Inferno.
You have to graze the bullets in order to slow them. Straight up breaking the rules of the game.
Inferno, Striped Abyss.
So, this is a good moment to note another thing. I have 5 credits. Beating the game at all gets you the good ending. This game is monstrous, but they give you that accommodation. Survival pattern number 2.
Fake Apollo.
The Apollo landing was faked. Were you the one that was spreading that rumor? And remember how falsehoods and mythology work in Gensokyo. Things appear in Gensokyo when the outside world stops believing they're real. This overwhelming power. You aren't an ordinary fairy, are you? Why? But I heard that as long as we fairies, symbols of life, controlled this place, the Lunarians wouldn't be able to do a thing. Hey, who exactly did you hear that from? My master's friend. The one who refined us fairies' power was her, too. Refined? What does that mean? I don't really get it either, but apparently it's something really amazing. So she tricked the fairies and did something to them? Fairies around here are all really impure, after all. No, at this level you could say they basically are impurity. Being attacked with something at this level might really send the capital into ruin, after all. Hey, lady, madam. Why are you okay with all of my impurity? Because I'm an Earth Rabbit now. Once you become impure once, it's impossible to return. But this confirms it. My master sent me to save the lunar capital. But the enemy understood the Lunarian's weak point and had the ability to make use of that knowledge. What sort of person could they be? Master and Lady Sagume probably both know, but they won't tell me. Either way, since I've come this far, I'll just have to live with the Master's expectations. And yeah, just so, Lady Havoc. Stupidly hard, but you are allowed multiple continues to get a good ending. And then the concept of a continue doesn't even apply in point device mode, so there's no way to get a bad ending in that either. So why did we fight a clown on the moon? Good question. It's a clown from hell, and also we're going to find that out. Maybe. Mare Tranquilitas, underside, unable to dwell jointly under heaven, pure furies.
That one song from the Titan AE soundtrack called Everybody's Going to the Moon that comes to mind.
Ever seen a survival pattern in a stage as opposed to a boss fight? Well, now you have. I got no bombs. This is gonna take a life. Have they exhausted all other possibilities and carried out this reckless attempt? I never hoped to see the Lunarians come to this. Who are you? My name is Junko. A sagacious... Oh.
Junko, that's a fox.
A sagacious spirit bearing ill will to the Lunarians. I've never heard of the Lunarians having an enemy like you. To think they sent a moon rabbit soldier after me. What is this? Why have you become so impure? And why have you accepted all these mistakes? It's not really like I accepted them, but I stopped being a moon rabbit. I'm an Earth rabbit now. What? Such a scheme from the Lunarians. Dropping a moon rabbit to Earth in order to strike at me? I am genuinely impressed. Really? But schemes are just schemes. The Lunarians have made a foolish mistake as well. This Earth Rabbit bears impurity beyond what is necessary. Like this, she is powerless against my strength. Absolutely powerless. Now, my mortal enemy, Chang'e, are you watching? I am going to torment this girl until you come out. I may have mispronounced that, sorry.
Chinese name. Yeah, Chang'e.
Chang'e?
Yeah. The goddess of the moon. Pure light of the palm.
This Baron's wacky. Note how the lasers go exactly in the gaps of the bullets. So you need to hide behind the bullet first and then sneak through. I cannot believe I dodged all those. Oh. Ah!
Murderous lilies.
Oh my god, I didn't know they can fire sideways if she hits a wall with them.
Primordial Divine Spirit World.
What do you even do here? The only safe place is the very center, and bullets will spawn on top of you. And... yeah, okay, something like that.
Trembling, shivering star.
Oh my god, I had bombs available. This one's cute because you do actually need to tremble in order to dodge the bullets. Left, right, left, right, left, right.
Pristine lunacy.
This Baron reminds me of Nyri's spooky snake show or whatever it was called. Hey, it's curving lasers, by the way. Yeah, Mysterious Snake Show, one of Nyri's spell cards. Survival pattern.
Glowing blemishes.
Ooh. Pure sign. Pure bullet hell. Purely bullet hell. Nothing fancy about it. Just circles of bullets. Circles of circles spawning. More and more. More and more and more. Bullet hell in its most pure form. Ante. Or, how does it pronounce again? Sorry.
Ante.
Ante? Oh, I did have it right. Okay. Ante, the shelter of former Lunarians located in the bamboo forest of the Lost. Rayson. Oh no, I'm getting scolded for sure. Yikes. Stress affects the ears. I better avoid Ante for a while. It can't be helped. Seems like I'll have to sleep outdoors. I wonder what I was thinking not using the ultramarine orb elixir. Point device mode. The medicine that allows you to see briefly into the future and rewire your failures. That evil spirit was strong. By the way, she said something about Lady Chang'e before the fight. Maybe she was her true target? Chang'e, goddess of the moon, who has been imprisoned in the lunar capital. She commands all of the moon rabbits. Oh, Rei-san. Come back home. Oh, Lady Kaguya, rescued. Erin is quite pleased that you are bringing us some information about the incident. She's also angry that you didn't use the elixir. I already knew she would be angry. Still, thank you. Moreover, there's something else not even Erin knows about, am I right? Tell me about it in detail. About what exactly? The fairy mentioned that Junko is her master's friend. Yeah, that's right. We didn't know that Junko had a friend. Perhaps this might become Junko's trump card. I wonder if you have more to tell me regarding the subject.
Take this love. Lady Havoc gifted 1 subscriptions to the community.
Thank you, Lady Havoc. I wonder if you have more to tell me regarding the subject. What kind of fairy she was, details about the incident. Rei-san returned to Ante, thanks to Kaguya's favors. Erin didn't seem angry anymore. Rei-san reported as many details about the fairy as possible. However, no one was able to grasp her true identity. With the opponent's silhouette revealed, the atmosphere had grown more eerie. It was a story of a dream, to be continued in the extra stage. Ending number 8, the beginning of real nightmares. You have completed the game, congratulations. Self-clear ending. So, one thing worth knowing about Junko is that she had a deep, deep, heavy resentment toward the leader of the moon, and used this purification and refinement as a method in order to turn herself into nothing but pure grudge.
Oh boy, that's no good. That is called in Shinto kegare. Defilement, ritual impurity.
Yep. So she is a refined being of absolute and nothing but resentment.
Yeah, that's no good.
Congratulations on returning to Earth. Legacy mode cleared. Thank you for playing.
In the words of Will Smith in Independence Day, welcome to Earth!
Motivated by spite. Yeah, kinda. Extra start. Dark Moon, extra mode. There are some people who like this sort of thing. As before, I will be making numerous attempts at this. Extremely unlikely I will clear it. But out of any of the characters that are available, Rei-san is probably the easiest because, once again, she has 12 lives where everyone else would have 1. And that is an unbelievable boon. But I will show off the other characters as well in other attempts, and this is a good time for questions as well.
Yes, we welcome your questions.
The Dream World. The trump card is always a bad move. Evil Trinity. Hell of a bass line on the song. This is also, by extra stage standards, an obscenely long extra stage. Also, no point device mode for this mode. You have to do this the traditional way. Oh, that was so close to 1,000,000. Oh, I've gotten me a life piece. So you've come here again, hmm? There's no turning back now. The lunacy of the Lunarians is nothing but poison to you now.
Butterfly supplantation. Super Express Dream Express.
Brutal pattern.
Crawling Dream, Creeping Bullet.
Oh my god. I had bombs available and I didn't use them. I know I can do better than this, so... Thank you for the cheers, friends.
Yes, your generosity on this channel is greatly appreciated. It helps the slime continue to grow her reach and bring you this wonderful commentary as she does.
And likewise, I heartily encourage all of you to also do the same for Nyri. Without whom which, this feature would not be possible. Apologizing on behalf of the wicked fox that attacked the moon. Oh. Refuse to apologize. Oh, I see. What?
Ah, Lady Havoc, thank you for your generosity.
A good thing.
Thank you very much. Let's give that another try. I did essentially lose 10 lives at once earlier in the level because I died without having used a bomb, but... Thank you so much for your generosity, Lady Havoc. And congratulations all y'all for getting gift subs. Enjoy your emotes. Oh. Well, now I really gotta do well. Gonna focus real hard.
Hair of Inaba is the one yokai that... So, in my time in graduate school, I had 3 advisors. The Hair of Inaba is the one yokai that my advisors ever mentioned by name. I don't even remember the circumstance, I just remember Evelyn name-dropped the Hair of Inaba one day. I was not expecting to hear that name come out of that mouth.
So many notifications. I can't look. I can't read comments. I can't. Yep.
Conley Basher, thank you. GCU Gray area, thank you.
I will channel my energy
Okay,
into
but-
focusing harder.
Please do focus. Kipper's Colony, colon 3 asks, are there any yokai that revolve around mirrors? Well, it's a funny thing you mentioned that. Mirrors in Japanese history are interesting because they were, that was considered to be a portal, to be a gateway. So when you weren't using the mirror, it was customary to cover it. You would have a lid or like a panel or even a piece of fabric that you would cover it with. So there would be, it was seen as a kind of gateway. But also, mirrors, more broadly in Japanese culture, that's the divine vessel, the most common, it's not the only one, but it's the most common divine vessel in Shinto. So, Super Express, Dream Express.
We've already covered these, so you don't have to.
In Shinto shrines, mirrors are very common.
Oh, that went much better than last time.
Bungaikyo.
Goodness gracious.
Through the looking glass, exactly. GCU Gray area, thank you.
Oh, extra life.
Thank you. Yes, the mirror, as in the mirror, sword, and jewel. 3 great treasures of the Japanese imperial family. Also the name of a book by Ruth Benedict.
Out of bombs. Yeah.
I think it's Ruth Benedict. No, not Ruth Benedict. Kurt Singer.
That's one of those move slowly sideways kind of patterns. Oh my god, I hit the tail of a laser. What?
Thank you, GCU Gray Area.
What is happening?
Has given so many gift subs. And we are now
A good thing.
level 4 complete. In the
Hype train.
Hype train.
Goodness flipping graces.
If you will, pure lunacy in this chat, especially fitting for today. Thank you so much for making that possible. Diablo D3 says, still not sure how none of the Japanese royal treasures are a giant robot. Well, as it turns out, I can recommend something to you. Because the anime and manga Gasaraki actually talk about this. And they
Oh my
tell
god.
a story in a parallel universe where there was a family of people who served the imperial court in the Heian period, 1,000 years ago, who built giant spirit-powered mecha. And most of the story is set in the 21st century, where the same family is building cybernetic mecha for the Japanese military. So yes, read Gasaraki, read/watch Gasaraki, if you want an example of a Japanese royal treasure as the as a giant robot.
All right. We have reached the boss fight. So we got some dialogue and some very fascinating fashion choices. Are you ready for a very, very Zun character design? It took longer than I anticipated for them to arrive at this answer. Since they came up with the scheme to drop a moon rabbit to Earth, I thought they would realize it right away. I heard about why you hate the Lunarians. Look, I can sympathize with your situation, but the majority of the Lunarians have nothing to do with all that. Didn't we settle this in our last battle? Why are the Lunarians still in here? The Lunarians escaped into the dream world. I foresaw that they would do so, as they were unable to stay in the lunar capital. Of course I took the initiative. I sent an assassin into the dream world first. Now show yourself. Hecate, goddess of hell. Ah, jeez, you totally kept me waiting, you know. Goddess of hell, Hecate lapis lazuli. So we're finally gonna get revenge on Chang'e, huh? My finger's just so itchy. Ah, no, your enemy is the rabbit before you, not Chang'e. Rabbit? You mean a moon rabbit? Oh, Chang'e's minions? Sure can't let her escape in that case. Who are you? I'm the goddess of hell, wielding 3 bodies for the moon, the earth, and the other world. I set a trap in the dream world as part of Junko's plan. I see. You're the master the fairy on the moon mentioned. That weird outfit of yours says it all. Hey, Junko? Why'd you bring me up our one little moon rabbit? She is no ordinary rabbit. She was the trump card of the Lunarians. It was thanks to this rabbit that we were defeated, albeit only halfway. What? How'd you do that? I can't believe a single rabbit could ruin our whole plan. Nothing else to do. Gotta get rid of her. So it's come to this after all. I'm not even a moon rabbit anymore, though. Moon rabbits are minions of Chang'e, my long-standing rival. There's no way I can let this rabbit return alive. I'll give you a real fun choice. The moon, the earth, or the other world. Pick whichever body you want to be killed by.
World Omagatoki.
Yeah! She switched to blue mode. She has different colors which represent her different 3 bodies that she mentioned. And I failed the bomb.
Yeah, Kasaraki had a really good director, and
I have no idea how I handle this firing for the record. As far as I'm concerned, this is impossible.
Kasaraki also heavily influenced my own series, my Confluence series, Earth Impurity Within One's Body. The scale of the mecha is one thing that I definitely stuck to, sort of roughly slightly larger than a tank, but also just the theme of the very old family of Japanese landed gentry that makes cybernetic stuff. Yeah, I tell that kind of story too.
It's just so fast. It is so fast.
Moon Apollo Reflection Mirror.
Oh, hey. Hey, it's the wiggle back and forth pattern that we love so much. By which I mean I have no idea how to deal with.
Simple Denmaku for cornering a trapped rat.
I think she's got me. Ah! Oh my life. How is this working? My fingers hurt. I'm tapping the buttons so quickly. Let's go! Bomb available. Personal record, by the way.
Otherworld, Hell's non-ideal Danmaku.
This does seem less than ideal, yes. Oh god, it's so wiggly. Okay, it's an oscillating pattern. I see it now. I get it. Okay, this is actually easy. Okay. This again. Girl, what? What are we even doing here? Oh. I don't think I'm gonna beat that run. Oh. Saving a replay of that one. Goodbye encoding quality. Alright. Oh. We'll take a look at point device mode, hard mode, and the other characters as we continue to chatter. And... Ugh. If you'd like to see how the story concludes or whatever, I think you're just gonna have to look online as per usual. But that's not why we run this show, you know? We don't run this for Lunatic, perfect clear, 1 extra credit, etc., etc. No bombs, whatever. We're here to talk about the history behind these games. You managed to beat that, Conley? Which character? Rabbit? As you can see, Ramu's abilities are pretty standard for what she always does. The Persuasion Needles if you are focused, and the Homing Amulet if you're unfocused. Stay with Reimu. That's even more impressive. Although, honestly, with Hecatea Lapis Lazuli's attack patterns, there's a lot of them that require you to fit into very thin spaces of quickly moving bullets. And Reisen's expanded hitbox as part of the bomb. Ooh, new pattern. Assassin's Bullet Speed Strike. The expanded hitbox definitely makes that sort of stuff a lot harder. And yeah, as you can see there, kind of the core conceit of point device mode is do it again until you do it right. What is this? They aren't usually this intense. Even if you're not in the way, I'll shoot. This is Seiran. I've made contact with a belligerent Earthling. Now proceeding with purification. Talking to yourself? That's creepy. Too bad for you, filthy Earthling. This place is about to be purified. Do it again until you do it right. Every bullet pattern, every segment of each level, every spell card. Do it again until you do it perfect. Rewind time, try it again, rewind time, try it again. And with Reisen, Junko mentioned she was amazed that we were accepting our failures. And that relates to we reached her in non-point device mode. Because Junko actually expected or anticipated us to be cheating in that way. And sort of taunts you about how many deaths did you suffer to get to this point? An uncountable number, to be sure. Are we about to say something, Nyri?
No.
Bullets are shaped like bullets. Let's see Marsa's. Good old Master Spark. Gotta love it. Crowd pleaser ability at this point. Reimu has a small hitbox, Marissa moves a bit fast, and I think Sanae has something to do with item collection. Bullets are made by people. That's true.
That is true, yes.
And bullet patterns are made by Zun. I think that's how video games work. You see, this is the great sort of commentary that you get from tuning into my work specifically here, as we discuss the historical context and mythology of the Touhou Project series, and you get to hear me just say, video games. Zun made this one, and I think that means that he made it. I think that means he developed it.
Conley, I'm glad to hear that. That tells me that we're doing exactly what we hoped we would be doing.
So unfocused, we've got the frog splash explosions. And in focus,
Thank you.
and in focus mode, we've got the snake representing, you know, the two deities that the two goddesses that the goddess herself, Sanae, works under.
I mean, Diablo, sometimes things do come to us in a dream, and that is
You still gotta put the work in.
we must contend with. You still gotta put the work in, yeah. I'm thinking of how the other day I had a dream that featured a TV ad jingle for a company in my novel series, and then I remembered it long enough after waking up to sing it into an audio memo, and now I have this tune that came to me in a dream, literally.
Me too.
Nice!
I have a dream song. That's each of the characters shown off here. What else do we got?
For those of you familiar with my Confluence series, it's the jingle for Santaku, the doll chassis manufacturer.
It'll need to be done in post with the VOD, but someone's got to clip that absurd clutch I did against Hecatia. Lapis Lazuli.
Dreams are eaten by Baku. Yes, that is true. Which I guess suggests that Baku is in league with the manufacturer of my progesterone pills, because when I take progesterone, I can't remember most of my dreams.
When I take my progesterone pills, my dreams become a lot more vivid.
It was like that for me at the beginning, but once my dosage went up and I'd been taking it for a few years, I tend to have a deep dreamless sleep. What about auto-writing, but instead of by hand, wrote code on a keyboard? I can't speak to that. Maybe some people have that skill.
Just to reacquaint with the topic, are we talking about ways in which a game can be not made by a person?
Yes, I think so.
Because there's a lot easier of a way to do that. If I made a game, it would be a game made by a slime. Ba 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 ba. Such a good baseline. Stream slime. Slime stream. Ah! This pattern. I forgot about the Dream Express. It's like an attack iron that Lash would use. Taking me straight to Dreamtown. Nighty Night Land. The Dream Express. Knocks me the hell out. Oh.
Yeah, if streams are made by slimes, why not games?
Yeah. Reimu is the only character that has homing. Although Sonic kind of does with the snakes averting to the side. Reimu's hitbox is a little bit smaller. Marissa's fast. High damage, both focused and unfocused. Wide range attack when focused and unfocused for Sanae. Uniquely unique is the fact that because of the snakes diverting to the side, her focused mode is homing, which is rare. Focus shot pierces. Take 3 hits without dying, but your hitbox gets bigger. Barrier disappears upon clearing stage.
Speaking of games from back in the day that far, Conley, last night I was informed that there's a sequel to Marathon about to drop.
Yep, it's...
I am very delighted.
There's a couple of people who are moderately... I will say this, it's extremely different. It is...
Yes, that I could tell.
It is deeply, deeply, deeply different. And also, reports are that it's an extraction shooter. And
yes.
While there's a lot of things to be said about that, the truth is, I haven't ever played an extraction shooter. And so, if I made Marathon the very first one I ever played, there's a lot of people who have already burned themselves out on the genre at this point.
Can you give me an example of another extraction shooter?
Escape from Tarkov is one. Escape from Duckov is a parody game that has a similar structure where you you bring out equipment and try and escape alive, because if you die while out on the field, you lose everything you brought and everything you picked up.
Okay.
I
hadn't realized that's what that was called.
Yeah, an extraction shooter is a game that has that vaguely roguelike sort of, like a different approach to a roguelike game where you are going out into the field, and if you fail to escape, you lose everything that you brought out, but you can still keep items banked, and so there's that inherent decision of, do I actually bring out a lot of good stuff this time? And if I do, I better do it right. The Division is another list, but again, I am the exact...
I've actually been enjoying The Division. I've been playing it lately.
Does it have that structure then? Does that sound familiar?
Yeah, you're basically being told, go and fetch this drop off of supply, or go and rescue this person, or bring back that official. It's a little bit of a pain in the ass on occasion, but the story, I think, ties it together decently enough for me to not mind.
I think we covered most of the stuff for this actual Touhou game that we want to, but there is a little bit of housekeeping that it's time to do. So, getting these games ready and practicing them, and the mental overhead and the actual cost of buying a new Touhou game is a bit much. It's pretty exhausting to run this series every week. And so while the series will not be ending, it will become a bi-weekly feature starting 2 weeks from now. So next Touhou stream will be in 2 weeks. However, and correct me if I'm wrong in any aspect of this, Nyri, Nyri and I will continue to collaborate on Wednesdays. It's just with non-Touhou games every other week. And so, that means that next Wednesday, we have an open slot for which I need to announce a game. If they turn Marathon into an extraction shooter, then the franchise is dead. Well, then, by that definition, the franchise is dead, because that's what the new Marathon is, so. I don't know. Like, I look at the art style of Marathon, and I'm like, I am utterly blown away.
Yeah, that's what interests me more. Beyond that, I've also heard some concerning things about how it was stuck in development hell, and there was a lawsuit, and there's all sorts of other nonsense going on.
Yep. From my understanding, the big thing there is there was an art plagiarism scandal during the beta, and the latest I've heard is from the artist is the marathon art situation has been resolved to my satisfaction, was posted by the artist. That exact statement, if I recall correctly. And I don't know if any of y'all are fallen Londoners, but there's a term that that game coined that I use frequently called mithridacy, which is the art of implying things, the art of leading a listener down a road without saying anything false. A lawyer's truth is one example of mithridacy. And speaking personally, resolved to my satisfaction, to me, I kind of hear got hella paid. So.
Yeah.
But if that is an absolute true statement, then, Marathon is probably not going to be a kind of game that I'd stream. That would be
No.
Yeah, that would be a me alone game. There will be a million other people who will stream Marathon for you.
I just mentioned it also because I am interested in playing it because I played the old games when they were new, and it has my attention for that reason. Beyond that, I'm really not interested in streaming it. It does not look like I would enjoy myself.
Actually, you know how I just talked about mithridacy? Allow me to use some mithridacy. I think I will stream Marathon someday. Take that how you will.
Anyway, Zoe says, "Heaven will be mine." What do you think?
Perhaps in the future, like if we continue doing this every other week visual novel or narrative game, which, whoops, I guess I just revealed that fact, then Heaven Will Be Mine is definitely on the list there for that. Although, honestly, I prefer to do their earlier work from those developers. We Know the Devil.
Like We Know the Devil?
Yes.
Yeah.
We Know the Devil is one I would love to do a group reading for, as it stars primarily 3 characters. I call dibs on Venus. Let's see.
Somehow I'm not surprised.
We will get into that when that time comes, but holy shit, I have never felt more seen by a character than when I encountered Venus in that game.
You too, huh?
Yeah, me too. But as for now, I need to reveal what our next game is going to be for Wednesdays. And for that, I need to actually get the artwork ready, or any sort of preview image, because I don't actually have one, because this stuff was arranged mere minutes before we went live. So don't mind me as I type things in very carefully here, and why don't you burn some time for me, Nyri?
Yes, so this week on my end, I am about to premiere season 5 of my podcast, Friday Night History. We are going to do the first book-length history of the Boshin War of 1868-69. If you've followed my work for any amount of time, you've heard me talk about this war, and I've been asked for a history, for like an intro text for just the general public, and well, here we are, we're going to do it. It's called Into the Scale of Battle, and the title comes from a speech by Garfield, not the cat, but the president by the same name. And that will be hitting the airwaves come Friday. I also stream 3 times a week, usually on my own channel, Riverside Wings, Monday, Tuesday, and Friday. And right now we're doing Yakuza, aka Like a Dragon Ishin, in which they've taken the likenesses of the Like a Dragon guys and they've said, well, what if we made them Bakumatsu, like late Edo period figures? And there's been one moment after another of my just losing my shit because I'm going, oh my god, it's so and so. They even featured my historical crush, Yamamoto Yae. So I've been very happy with that. But yes, so this Friday, new podcast season, and meanwhile, I am also right around halfway in drafting my next combat doll novel, a prequel to Confluence called One Heart Together. And patrons over on the Patreon are getting a first look at an early draft every Thursday, chapter by chapter. So, to all of you who follow my work, who are regulars here, also who follow my work, thank you for your support. To everyone else, please do drop by, check it out. I'd love to have you. Yeah.
Allow me to switch our screen here real quick. Back to this mode. Oh, oh my god. Okay, good. Ugh.
There you are.
Okay. The demo disc screen in the background was selected, and so I hit delete enter to dismiss the demo disc image and go through the confirmation box. And it said, would you like to remove the Moo reveal scene? And I deleted this scene that we're currently in, and thank God the undo button worked. Oh, I don't want to have to recreate this scene. So, next Wednesday will be a return to Story Time with Moo. I will be your host, and Nyri will be joining in, much as the audience, as a first-time viewer, to commentate on the bit of theatrics that we'll be going through. Allow me to bring you all to the performance. Welcome to Bad End Theater.
You're welcome to it too, I said.
4 characters, a hero, a maiden, an imp, and a queen of the demons. You can take the perspective and role of one of them and guide them as they make their choices and as their lives overlap with each other. But eventually, as you will see, nothing ever works out. Everyone is going to suffer. Everyone, no matter what you decide, will meet with a horrible fate. That's just the nature of the Bad End Theater. Is that something you can accept? If so, we'll raise the curtains and enjoy the story of 4 star-crossed heroes. Story time with Moo, everyone. Fun fact, I have a plushie of that imp, the Cyan character. I love this game, and I look forward to sharing it with y'all. That will be on Wednesday, and for now, let's raid on over, shall we? You suggested the Gorals, they're live? They're in the...
Yes, they appear to be.
I might, however... You got 23 viewers. I'll send some folks Hexy's way.
In closing, Gorp.
And in closing, Gorp. I try to err toward giving big boost to folks that are to smaller channels. Goral Stream Team has some 25 consecutive right now, so I'll send some folks to Hexy. But yes, I hope you'll join me for Bad End Theater, and I think you'll enjoy it, Nyri. Also, our Friday game is going to conclude soon. It's a new special flagship stream is going to take its place. I've been cooking, friends. But until then, lovely seeing y'all. To another place, my friends.